Hello everyone, I am S.Arunkumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, SNS College of Technology. In this video, I am going to discuss about case study on nuclear power plant. So power plant is a facility that generates the electricity through the controlled nuclear reaction. In the nuclear power plant, we are using uranium as a working fuel. So in the nuclear power plant, the working principle is due to the mechanism of nuclear fission reaction. So nuclear fission reaction is nothing but the fissionable materials, for example, uranium, that is splitting into two or more fragments and also releases the high amount of energy. So in this nuclear power plant, the uranium-235 is bombarded with the one neutron. It's splitting up to krypton and barium, and also it releases the high amount of energy, 200 milli electron volt, and also 2.5 neutrons. The 2.5 neutrons, from the 2.5 neutrons, the one neutron again is bombarded with the uranium-235 and it converts into the uranium-238. This uranium-235 is used as the working fluid in the nuclear power plant. So these are the major components of nuclear power plant. The main component of nuclear power plant is the nuclear reactor. So the nuclear fission reaction takes place inside the nuclear reactor. It's same like the boiler we are used in the steam power plant. So from the nuclear reactor, the heat energy by use of cooling oil, we can observe the heat energy inside the nuclear reactor and is passing into the steam generator. So the nuclear reactor, it consists of some major components such as control rods, nuclear reactor core and moderator. The reactor core is in the shape of round cylindrical. It consists of the control rods and the moderators. So the main function of the control rods is to regulate the reaction of chain reaction. To regulate the chain reaction, it's made up of boron and gadmium. And the moderator, the main function of the moderator is to slow down the moving electrons. So it is made up of graphite, hard water, and also beryllium. The coolant oil or cooling water is passing into this nuclear reactor. Due to the nuclear fission reaction takes place inside the nuclear reactor, the high amount of heat energy is produced. This coolant oil or coolant water is absorbed that heat energy from the nuclear reactor and is passing into the steam generator. The steam generator, there are two passages. One passage is from the nuclear reactor, the hot coolant. Another passage is the water which is necessary for the steam generation. In the steam generator, the heat energy absorbed from the nuclear reactor is heating the water and also the steam is produced. The steam again it spits to the steam turbine. The function of the turbine is to convert the heat energy into the mechanical energy. Again is coupled with the generator. Here the mechanical energy is converted into the electrical energy and this is supplied to the core. The steam is to hit the turbine blade. Again it comes to the passing into the condenser. Here by using the cooling water, the hot steam is converted into the liquid state. Again it circulates into the steam generator. It is the continuous circle. So in this way the power is produced from the nuclear power plant, from the nuclear core. In this nuclear power plant have some issues and also have some solution to prevent these issues. The first issue is in the coolant leak. Here we are using the water or liquid sodium as a coolant to absorb the heat produced inside the nuclear reactor. So due to the leakage of the coolant, it can impact the cooling of the reactor core. So the reactor core, it is the main part which is regulate the chain reaction. So to prevent these issues, the solution is the regular inspection is mandatory and maintain and repair the cooling systems and have the backup cooling system ready to prevent the overheating. Because of due to the overheating, the reactor core will damage. The another issues, reactor fuel rod damage. So the fuel rod is nothing but it's made up of boron and cadmium. In the nuclear fuel rod can decrease or become damaged. So due to these issues, the nuclear power plant also damaged. So to prevent from these issues, the solution is given here. Monitor the fuel rod conditions, maintain the proper cooling conditions, and replace or restoration of the damaged fuel rods. The another issues is the reactor overheating. Excessive heat in the reactor core. So the uranium-235 nuclear fission reaction, it is the continuous reaction because the neutron is bombarded with the uranium-235. It's again and again happens. It is a chain reaction. So due to the chain reaction, the excessive heat is produced inside the reactor core. So to prevent from these issues, to control the cooling systems, implement the automatic shutdown mechanisms and use of emergency cooling to prevent the overheating. Another issue is the radioactive material release. So the main disadvantages of the nuclear power plant is the radioactive disposal, and also it is the harmful to the human as well as the environment. So the release of radioactive materials is very dangerous. To prevent from these issues, implement the multiple contaminant layers and follow the safety protocols and regularly test and upgrade the emergency response system so that this nuclear reactor is built by the high strength materials bricks because of to prevent the radioactive accidents. So the another problem is the turbine generator issue. The turbine is the device which converts the heat energy into the mechanical energy. So the problems for in the turbine with the turbine generator can affect the electricity generation. So generator, it consists of the two parts. One is the stator, another one is the rotor. Stator is the stationary part, rotor is the rotating part. So due to the magnetic field produced in the rotor, it creates the electricity in the stator part. So the turbine and generator is the most common thing to produce the electricity generation. To prevent from these issues, regularly inspect and maintain the generator as well as monitor the vibration and the temperature, and also keep the spare parts for replacement. So another problem is the emergency cooling system failure. The failure of the emergency cooling systems in shutdown or accident situations. So solution for this case is given here. The maintain the redundant emergency cooling systems and regularly test the cooling systems and also ensure the backup power sources available or not. And the last, finally, which is the human error. Human error can lead to the safety and the operational issues. So solution for the human error to rectify these issues, provide the comprehensive training and also implement the strict safety protocols and use the automation to reduce the impact of human error. Nowadays, the industry 5.0 is developing. The industry 5.0 is nothing but the human work along with the robotics. So to introduce the automation, robotics, instead of the human, we can reduce the human error as well as accidents. So this is the Kudangulam nuclear power plant. It is the largest nuclear power plant in India. Here we are using uranium-235 as a working fuel. From the uranium-235 nuclear fission reaction, we can generate the electrical energy and supply to the applications. The advantages of the nuclear power plant is the less supervision is required, less space is required. Here the no ash disposal because it is not a steam power plant. In steam power plant we are using coal as working fuel. So due to the burning of the coal, the ash disposal is mandatory. But here we are not using the ash. The major disadvantages is the cost also high as well as the radioactive release. The radioactive release is the harmful to the human. So in the nuclear power plant, the above said reasons are the problems commonly occurred in the nuclear plant, but we can prevent these issues by continuous monitoring and by testing that environmental condition as well as our lubrication and the cooling system. So from next video series, we will discuss about another nuclear power plant issues and the solution for rectifying those problems. So thank you for watching.